Well, here's the deal. I have a 1993 rocking Bullwinkle pinball machine that needs a new cabinet. Here, take a look at this. Pretty bad, right? Yeah, this thing really needs a new cabinet. Well, the problem with making a new cabinet is that all of us try to do a really good job making a new cabinet. The better the job we do, it always ends up looking like a factory cabinet. No one can tell that you made a new cabinet. That didn't sound like a whole lot of fun to me, so I decided to try to do something a little bit more unique. I thought about the history of the Rocky and Bullwinkle cartoons, and Jay Ward introduced them in 1959. So I decided, well, let's design a retro pinball cabinet based upon a 1959 pinball cabinet design. So that's what I did. Now, I had these other ideas rattling around in my head that had nothing to do with retro pinball cabinets that I wanted to try out, so I threw one of those on too, and that's really more of a nod to the future. So I designed both a retro cabinet to 1959 with a slight nod to the future. Let's take a look at it. Okay, so here it is. This is a 1959 Gottlieb, and this is a 1959-1993 Rocky and Bullwinkle pinball cabinet. You can see that I took the styling cues from the 1959 cabinet and I applied them to the new cabinet that I made. The biggest and most noticeable feature of these 1959 Gottlieb cabinets is what they call a belly bar. It's a very large wooden bar up here, lockdown bar, that I think looks really neat. So I found original parts from a 1959 Gottlieb, the original belly bar, and I refinished it and put it on there. You can also see that in general, it's a wood rail. So it's a 1993 wood rail. I picked up the coin door is identical. It's a 1959 coin door. The paint scheme is the same as a 1959. And the legs are painted the same way. In 1959, they painted the door and the legs normally a off-white or an almond type of color. Now let's take a look at some of the other details that make this a retro cabinet. You can see on the 1959 Gottlieb you have flipper guards, the coin door, the painted legs, and they also painted the apron the same color as the door. On the Rocky and Bullwinkle, we have the same thing. We have the flipper guards, the painted door assembly, the painted legs, and also the same new painted apron with the same graphics as a 1959 pinball machine. One of the interesting features that the belly bar required in the cabinet design is these wings that came out. Because of the extra width of the belly bar, you had to bring out the cabinet, and they brought it out as this wing extension right here. So I did the same thing with the reproduction cabinet. Another feature of the 1959 type of cabinets, actually the 1950s into the 1960s, is these cigarette holders. You can see over here, I have the cigarette holders. Now, this particular cigarette holder here is a retro cigarette holder because it handles this, it holds this, if you recognize it, a retro cigarette. While this one over here is meant for the e-cigarettes that we have now. So what's this nod to the future that I was referring to? Illuminated cabinet graphics. This is a prototype proof of concept that I came up with for this cabinet. I put it on this cabinet because it's the next project I had, and I wanted to see what illuminated graphics look like. If this were to be carried through into any kind of a production machine, it would be integrated a little bit better into the cabinet, but being a proof of concept, this is the way that I did it. So there you have it, a retro cabinet with a nod to the future. I think I managed to pull off a cabinet design that is unique enough that people will know that I made this cabinet. So I think I accomplished my goals.